now?
Yep.
Welcome to a Tropicana Thunder video of a playthrough of a team deathmatch game which occurred at the Day of the Dead high FPS event happening just south of London. The day was put on by the Games of Thome crew and it was quite frankly fantastic. I'll be talking you through this playthrough, and obviously, as you can see, this is actually me running it as well. This is team deathmatch and on an asymmetrical battlefield, so you can see here that we've taken up position around this tower, and the other teams are essentially playing onto this position. Teams are fairly equally balanced, good variation of blasters in use, everything from Boomco pistols to Talon strifes, as well as other variant things like caliburns. You can see here flanking is actually playing a massive part in this game. As well as all the different bunkers and various bits of obstacle. There was no one really wearing any kind of camouflage or disruptive patterning, so generally you could see people moving around, but if someone was, that would obviously be a problem for anyone sort of holding a tower. Smokes and flashbangs are also in play, not specifically in this game though, not many people were using them. So you can see here, I've taken up position in the centre of the tower. I'm running an HPA supercore in a prophecy shell. It's tuned to about 190 FPS. It's the first run out of this blaster, so I wasn't quite sure how it was going to perform. I actually had to take the scar off. I was getting real variance in the way that the projectiles were coming out. You can also see here I spend a lot of time actually at the start of this game pointing out where people are running to and trying to essentially let the team know where everyone is. Everyone's essentially taken up really good positions, helping to pin everyone down. I move forward at this point, thinking I can maybe be able to get a better angle up here, but I'm wearing quite wide webbing as well as an HPA tank, and it stops me moving around effectively in here, and I realise I can't really dodge any darts coming at me, so I move back. This is also the first time actually running a head cam for me. Most people obviously run GoPros. What I have here is an Osmo Pocket, which is mounted to the side of my JT Flex paintball mask. You can see there the dart's really curving off without the scar. That will need to be fixed in sort of future iterations. I think my barrel's just a bit too tight for the level of pressure I'm putting through this. I'm getting real variance. Some are just creeping out the barrel, like a weak strife, and others are really flying like a good caliburn shot. I think one of the things I'm going to be doing is replacing this barrel with something very, very slightly wider in diameter to help. You can see here at this point, everyone is really, instead of coming, they've realised that coming onto the tower sort of in a straight line really isn't working for them, even with that yellow shield to the left-hand side. So what they're really trying to do is flank, and you can see here Ben runs in from the side. He takes out one, but we get it covered. You can also see darts just really flying in, so you're having to really bob and weave to keep around. John's coming in here with a full body height shield, as well as JJA. JJA is a very fast player, so he often uses that to his advantage, but sometimes he can push forward a bit much and sort of overexpose himself. If I hadn't have been there, he probably would have cleared out the entire camp. He's that kind of guy. He usually gets a load of hand tags each game.
We've got a cheeky caliburn behind the yellow.
You can see here the caliburn actually hidden in the window of that yellow grating. There's no way that without a scar anyway I can put a shot through that from this distance, so I'm content just to let him sort of take pot shots and let Neil with his Exus sort of help pin that guy down. And of course, most important thing, make sure your shoes are tied. I nearly trip over myself at that point in time. That's a bit embarrassing. You can see here JJA is moving around the side again. There's no one on that side for us, so I don't really have a choice but to try and keep him sort of suppressed. Quick glance around because I've had my head down for a while. Brian's out in the open. I think he gets taken out by Neil there. Not really sure. John's running with a shield. As he runs away, I try to level a shot at him. You can see the real variance in the FPS on this blaster is not great. Oh, you can see there, full length caliburn shot, I think.
We got darts coming in, like all in front of you, mate. Whoa, keep that head down.
So darts are flying in here. Excellent Caliburn shots. Really keeping me pinned in this corner. I'm unable to sort of move around to the side for fear of being shot, as well as getting a couple of jams here too. We've got Craig here kneeling down by the front. He's got a Boomco scatter shot. I'm not sure the term fires 3 darts at once. He's putting that to good use. He's stopping anyone from getting too close to the tower. You can see here John's trying to move in. He's actually ditched his shield, not really sure why. If he'd had his shield there, he would have been a real threat, but he does manage to get Craig.
Brian in wide, mate.
So you can see here Chronomag shooting to the yellow, and behind that yellow is actually Brian with his Spamf. Spamf's actually exceptionally effective on this, pinging in really accurate shots. Obviously they haven't got the highest FPS, but when your targets sort of can't move and they're stuck in an area with no cover, like we see here, it's actually quite dangerous.
I've got your other side covered, mate. You keep an eye on mine. Whatever you do, don't put your head up because there's a Caliburn directly in front of you.
This is an airsoft site, so a lot of the stuff here actually it's got a fantastic amount of buildings as well as sort of layout. So the fields are actually quite wide, so if you really want to, you can go right out into the side of the forest. You can see here I'm pointing out to Craig just to let him know that there's 2 guys down there.
Mind your left, Neil. Brian behind the yellow.
At this point, I'm more worried we're being encircled,
just over the wall.
and of course the shields are an ever-present threat at the front.
Alright.
At that point, I think I take a shot to the leg. I didn't actually feel it, but it's always polite when someone calls a hit on you to take it.
Yeah.
So I go back to the spawn point. Yep, so we've got little counters here for tracking team lives. Really effective addition the Games of Foam guys have added. You can see here I've actually decided now not to go back into the tower. Reason of that is twofold. Number one, I'm more of a running type player anyway, and I prefer to roam. Also, I was the only player actually using HPA here, and despite the fact that my blaster was varying in FPS, it definitely was keeping some play subdued, and I think it's just polite to not necessarily, abuse a massive advantage that you have, because I want everyone to have a good time. So you can see here what I'm actually doing is moving forward, just checking out my surroundings. Having a look around, I can see that no one's actually spotted me here, but I can actually see people walking forward. They're still sort of going straight for the base. Gives me an opportunity to take out a shield user from the side. Now I have the option. Do I want to stay here? I know their spawn is to the right. Technically, I'm not covered on that side, so they could see me if people were looking. So I decide just to make a move, see if there's anyone I can catch out, because they're so laser focused on the tower. Cheeky little hand tag there, sending some regards to some of our Desperados brethren. And here you can see I try to sneak up on Brian for a hand tag, but I get greedy. I should have just shot him. I could have probably got a couple of people there. But hey, that's just the way it is. I'll learn next time not to be so greedy, and actually just if I have the option to shoot someone instead of trying to hand tag them, I will. Playing these games with the Desperado guys, there's always a massive focus on hand tagging. It's just great fun.
What? Oh, the one Andy's using. Yeah.
One of my friends is also playing this game. He's not really a nerfer, but I lent him my Caliburn. It's tuned out to about 240 FPS, which is we're running a 250 max at this field. So I've got a feeling he's actually running the most powerful blaster, and he's really getting some laser shots in and pinging people from a distance. So having run around the other flank last time, I'd make the decision to go the other way this time. Variety's spice of life, keep things fresh. You can see the shield users are really holding everyone down, and you can see JJA use his shield to great effect here. He's basically just swatting away my shots. There's nothing I can do about it from this distance.
Three match time. You know it. I see you.
I see Brian as well. It's really good to be able to like sort of weave between these trees. Both of our blasters probably pretty evenly matched here. Brian's really good with his spamp, so I'm also taking shots from the other side. So I realise I'm a bit surrounded. I can see my friend Andy over there with my own Caliburn. I can't possibly allow him to shoot me with it.
Good shot.
But you can just see he pings one straight in, hits me in the shoulder, and I'm eating humble pie. Back to spawn. It's a good chance to also say, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button for more Tropicana content. This is probably going to be one of the most labour-intensive videos we've done so far. Obviously all the other YouTubers do it, we thought we'd give it a shot. Certainly the first one we've done with an audio track, as you guys can probably tell. So let me know. Right, time to move out again. They've moved up into the tower now. They've taken it from our own team. You can also see shields are moving forward. If they get their shields up there, there's not much chance we're going to be able to get that tower back. One of the great things about these games days, especially the test days, is although we're playing with rules and we would add shield rules if there were more people, everyone here generally is playing with a really good level of sportsmanship. So if people's combinations are too overpowered, you can see them like swapping blasters or putting their shields down just to ensure everyone has a good time. Really thinking about what to do here. I'm not really sure where everyone's placed on the map at this point because I've just come from spawn, but you can see me trying to flank around, taking a couple of shots here, but fortunately none hits me, and that's the end of the game. So be sure to let us know what you thought of this video. You can find us under Facebook and Instagram and all the usual channels under Team Tropicana Thunder Nerf is probably what you can search. And be sure to hit that like and subscribe button and leave a comment if there's anything you think we could add to these. This is obviously a first for us to do sort of a video that's sort of a longer form but also narrated content. I don't envy Ryan, who's our video editor for this, but yeah, if you feel you want to see more of this, please let us know.